Hey y'all, I'm Robin. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming the end of the year book tag. So this is a book tag that goes around every single year around this time, and it is all about just wrapping up your year of reading. I've always wanted to participate in this tag, and I'm so glad that I am on YouTube and can participate this year. So I have the questions off to the side, and I did prep some of my answers a little bit just because I knew that if I just tried to wing this tag, it was not going to go over well, especially since some of these are talking about like upcoming books and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's just get right into the tag. So question number one is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? So normally I'm pretty good about either finishing a book or DNFing a book, but this year my reading has been a little all over the place, especially towards the end of the year with me getting sick and stuff like that. So I do have quite a few books that are partially read that I either really want to try to finish or decide to DNF. I think I want to finish all of these. So first up is Raven Song by TJ Klune. I don't even know, maybe halfway through this, and I was just really slumpy, and I adore this series. And so I didn't want to keep pushing through because I could feel myself just like not really caring, not because the book is bad, but because I was just feeling really slumpy. And so I decided to put it down so that I can return to it later when I was feeling more up to it. So this is one that I want to get back to. I gave Wolf Song 5 stars, so like I know that I want to read this. Like this is not going to be a DNF. It was just a book that like I needed to put down at that time. The other one is All These Bodies by Kendar Blake. I started this one recently, and I don't know if you can tell, like about halfway through, and I am really enjoying myself, but again, I'm slumpy, so I'm hoping to finish this one by the end of October. So hopefully by the time that this video goes out, I will have finished this, but as of right now, it is still in the process of being read. The one big one is Crown of Gilded Bones. I've talked about this one before, but this is kind of my pile of shame book. This is one that I need to finish this year. It needs to happen. I picked this up on audio, so hopefully I can read this one in November and just close it out before the end of the year. And then the last one is my reread of The Beautiful. I started this one, I barely got anywhere into it, but I was just, again, kind of slumpy, and I was not feeling audiobooks, and I was listening to this one on audio. And so at that time I was just like, I can't focus on an audiobook. So this one just kind of got set aside for that reason. But again, I want to finish this reread. So those are the 4 that I really want to close out before the end of the year. Question number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition you into the end of the year? And for this, I don't have a new book to talk about. That was kind of my October reading plans, was to read all of the spooky and autumnal books. That was going to transition me into the end of the year. And then my November and December plans are just wrapping up all the loose ends from the year. So if you watched my TBR for November, I talked about how November and December are all about catching up on like open review books and late review books and open series and things like that I want to close out before going into 2022. So this is it was my October. My October reading was my autumnal book to lead me into the rest of the year. Question number 3 is there a new release that you are still waiting for? And yes, normally this time of year, I feel like new releases are pretty much over. And I don't know if it's because of the supply chain stuff and like COVID and all of that. I feel like there's more November and early December releases than normal, but I have a couple of ones that I'm really excited about. First up is A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. I've talked about this a ton of times, but this is one of my most anticipated books for the whole year, and it comes out super soon. There is also Girls of Fate and Fury, which is the 3rd and final book in the Girls of Paper and Fire series, and I think this either comes out right at the end of November. I think it's the end of November. Really excited about this one. I loved the first book, and I'm excited to close out another series. And then the last one is The Righteous by Renee Ahdieh, and again, this is the final book in a series. I love that for me. This is the reason why I want to finish up The Beautiful reread, because this comes out again, I can't remember if it's the end of November or early December, but really excited about that one as well. So those are the 3 that I'm most excited about, but there are some more in early December as well as the end of November that I'm really excited about. So yeah, I feel like there's more new releases at the end of the year than there is normally. Editing Robin popping in from the future here. I realized while I started editing this that I somehow missed an entire question. So question number 4 is, what are 3 books that you want to read before the end of the year? So if you watched my November TBR, which I will link up in the cards and down in the description box, I talked about how my entire November and December reading plans revolve around me kind of like catching up with all of the things that I wasn't able to get to throughout the rest of the year. I grabbed 3 of them that are the highest on my TBR. The first one being The Death of Jane Lawrence by Caitlin Starling. This is the Literally Dead book club pick for November. It's also a late arc. I am really excited about it. It was one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I need to get to it. The second one is another most anticipated release, and that is The Matzo Ball by Jane Meltzer. This is also on my November TBR. This is a Hanukkah romance following a chronically ill heroine who is usually a Christmas author, but her publisher wants her to write a Hanukkah romance, and it's an enemies to lovers romance. Sounds really adorable. And then the last one doesn't really fit into what I want to do for November, but it is a series continuation, and that is Kingdom of the Curse by Carrie Maniscalco. I just kind of want to keep up with the series. I don't want to fall too far behind. Otherwise, I need to start rereading the previous books, and I don't want to go there. So I really want to read this, continue on with the series. I think there's one more. I think this is a trilogy. I could be wrong. I could be totally making that up. I definitely want to read this before the end of the year as well. So that is the 3 books that I want to read before the end of the year. Now, back to Past Robin. Question number 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite of the year? And the only book that I could think of that could fit this is A History of All Places by Shea Ernshaw. And the reason being is this was already one of my most anticipated books for the whole year. And I do think that this will be a 5-star read. So this is the only book I could think of. Although I have read quite a few like shocking books this year, The Love Hypothesis and The Charm Offensive and things like that. Like I thought that I would love, but I had no idea were going to blow me away. So who knows? Maybe something could surprise me. Denise Williams surprised me last year with How to Fail at Flirting, so it is possible that The Fastest Way to Fall could surprise me and become a favorite of the year. But I've read a lot of 5-star books this year, so who knows? Who knows what could happen with the rest of the year? And then the 6th and final question is, have you already started making reading plans for 2022? And the answer is yes, very much so. I will link my Goodreads shelf down below. I think I already have like 130 books on my 2022 and like want to read list, which is ridiculous, but I have a ton of them down there, so I will link that in the description box. I have also started making plans for some challenges and stuff that I want to do in 2022. So I don't want to give everything away because I am planning to do a goals video later, and none of this is finalized yet. I do have a couple of like challenge videos that I want to do vlog style in 2022. Kayla from Books and Lala did this with her 5-star predictions, where she chose, it was like 6 5-star predictions, and she paired them up, and every single month she did a vlog where she read those. And I kind of want to do something very similar with 5-star predictions, as well as my 22 books I want to read in 2022. I haven't decided how many books I'm going to put on those lists or what books are set on those lists. I do have like a whole list of books that I'm super excited about, and I just kind of need to pair them up. And then the other big thing that I know I want to do that I'll share here is I really want to catch up on some series. So I have a bunch of like series continuations and stuff coming out in 2022. So I might do like a vlog series for that as well, where I'm reading sequels, because I'm trying to avoid putting too many sequels if I'm going to do dedicated vlogs to like 2020 books that I want to read or 5-star predictions. I don't want to put too many sequels on there because I feel like that's harder to watch, because like if you haven't read book 1, it's less fun to watch a vlog where somebody reads a sequel. So I might do a separate series where I just read sequels that I'm really excited about. So those are the 3 things that I'll share right now. I do have some other things that I want to do. I know that I always set my reading goal to 100 books. I always surpass it by quite a bit. I've already passed like 130 books this year. Last year I hit like 185, but I feel like 100 is a good goal. And especially it takes a lot of my pressure off, because if I do fall into these slumps like I did this year, I don't feel like a ton of pressure to like, I don't know, keep reading and then I have to read short books or something like that. 100 is just easy for me to hit, and so I always keep it at that. I think that's it for the goals that I'm ready to share yet. Like I said, not all of them are set in stone yet, so those are just the ones that I've been thinking about. If you haven't done this tag yet and you would like to, consider yourself tagged, or if you want to answer the questions, answer them in the description box or link your video down below, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye guys.